Hey everyone, this is Shagg. Let's wrap up the 12 days of Shaggmas and start the new year off with some extreme question answering. Shagg FAQs 2.0. First off, why? Well, the first Shagg FAQs was buried somewhere in the Pokemon Gold LP and wasn't clearly labeled, and because I'm still getting people asking questions that I've already answered. For the time being, this is going to be the final source of answers on common questions. Question number 1. What emulators do you use? At the moment, I have these emulators on my computer. ZSNES for SNES games, an older version because NetPlay was removed in the most recent version, and because the water in Kirby's Dream Land 3 became solid instead of see-through for some reason, which kinda screwed everything up. Visual Boy Advance for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. I also have No Cache GBA somewhere, but I use that for DS games. In Nestor J for NES games, I think I also have Nestopia somewhere. Project 64 for N64 games. As a side note, many N64 games do not emulate properly. For example, Space Station Silicon Valley has really bad problems when emulated. Kega Fusion for emulating Sega systems. And lastly, I recently set up EPSXE for PlayStation emulation. Question number 2. What programs do you use? The big one is Camtasia Studio 6, previously Camtasia Studio 5. I use this for recording as well as editing. When I record, I now use a DivX codec for better quality. Camtasia Studio 6 has a free trial, and it also costs $300. I acquired it for significantly less. Moving on, to record off of consoles, I use the Adaptec Game Bridge and the software that came with it, Intervideo Home Theater. I record voice for this using the webcam built into my laptop and the webcam recording feature in Camtasia Studio, then edit that in Vegas Pro 8 to sync up the audio. Vegas Pro is another one of those programs that costs $300 unless it doesn't. When I have a guest who isn't sitting next to me, I use Skype and MP3 Skype recorder to talk to them and record our call. By the way, I found MP3 Skype recorder by searching Skype recorder on Google. First result. Google is a good thing. Occasionally, I'll also use the program Audacity for some sound editing. Skype, the Skype recorder, and Audacity are all free. I used to use Windows Movie Maker, but that's really a last resort sort of thing right now. Question 3. Hey Shagg, will you play this game? While I take interest in suggestions, it's not very likely that I'll play the game you want me to unless I already plan to play it. Some specific games I won't be playing are Cave Story, because I'm not good enough to do the Good Endings final dungeon, Mega Man and Mega Man X games because A, I've already covered a few, B, Kit, Pink, and Roam have covered all or most of the classic series, and, well, as for the X series, I've already done Maverick Hunter X with Vile, and I don't want to revisit it with X to avoid being repetitive. I don't like most of the X series, it doesn't really stick with me, but I might possibly consider X6, and I might possibly consider doing Mega Man powered up with a different Robot Master at some point. Also, I won't be doing anything that would just be terrible as a video LP, even if I really like the game, unless I think I have some sort of crazy idea that will make it work. For example, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance or Ogre Battle 64. Those would be hard to make into videos. Oh yeah. And no, I want to be the guy. Just no. Question number 4. What about those LPs you left unfinished? Hey, quick, look over there. Level 5 death! Okay, for those of you who aren't divisible by 5, let's tackle these in no real order. Super Mario Bros. 3. I have started this as a break from Bomberman Hero and I kinda regret it. Everybody and their dog has played and or let's played this, and the LP I was doing was kinda boring, so it's gone. Final Fantasy V. I'm lazy and this is too much work. Plus, I bit off more than I could chew. I don't know where all the blue magic is, for example. Final Fantasy V is longer than I remember, and subtitles are more work than audio commentary. Mario Tennis! I had plans, big plans, but I realized that the idea to have different guest announcers for every video was kinda hard, especially with schedule conflicts, and it didn't turn out as good as I hoped for the videos that I produced of it. Apologies for wasting of your votes on Final Fantasy V and Mario Tennis. Please don't kill me. As for Zero Mission, that was just an impulsive bit of playing. It's not gonna continue. Impulses don't always have to carry all the way through. I guess Yoshi's Story also counts in this regard because, well, that was kind of impulsive and I only did one path. New Super Mario Bros. Wii! The Shagg brothers will not be recording the entire game. It was more of an extended New Game plus Shagg segment than an LP. Think of it as a special mini-series if you like. Pokemon Gold! Well, that's interesting. I'll get back to that at the end. Question number 5. What are those other projects you mentioned in passing and when will they be done? First, keep in mind that I'm lazy. Second, keep in mind that I have way too many ideas and projects at once. When will they be done? Who knows, but let's address a few. RPGs. I'd like to make a sequel to Super Coat Pockets Battle Extreme, my first RPG. The current plan is for the next RPG to be some kind of spin-off of that, with dungeon exploring as the focus instead of the whole boss fighting thing. Tammy. Tammy is basically a Mega Man game. It's called Tammy because it's named after the main character, Tammy. She does the usual fighting 8 robot masters sort of thing. The robot masters are these guys, designed by Roam, based on ideas from various people. Tammy's not on the current to-do list because I don't know how to use any platform game making programs adequately. Shagg 2, a Super Mario World ROM hack, currently sort of in production. I say sort of because I'm lazy and because LPs take priority. The details are pretty hush-hush because Kit will LP it blind when or if I finish it. Question number 6. What's up with your username being Kupo-san3 and you being called Shagg? This is pretty simple. Basically, my username for everything is ShaggDog3. Kupo-san3 is a side username that I liked at the time, and I signed up for YouTube with it. By the time I started doing videos, I was back to using ShaggDog3 for everything, and everyone calls me Shagg as a short version. The end. Question number 7. Can Rom borrow your PSP, etc.? Despite rumors to the contrary, our little group of LPers does not all live in the same neighborhood. I live in Georgia, Kit lives in Florida, Rom's in Texas, and Pink is in Canada. The only LPing friend I know that I can see in person is Legic. When I had Kit and Rom as guests before, they were on the phone over Skype. The other people who have been guests have all been other non-LPing friends who live in or happen to be in Georgia at the time. Topic number 8. The to-do list and possible future LPs. As of this video, priorities are getting the rest of the Kirby Arena stuff posted and finishing Kirby in the Amazing Mirror. After that, there are a few things I could try, depending on how busy I am at the second semester of college and how long Amazing Mirror takes. 1. Pokemon. I could either be doing the Kanto half of Pokemon Gold or exploring Kanto the way it should be with Pokemon Red. It's either Larry and sucky Kanto or no Larry and good Kanto. Gold or Red. 2. A Monster Rancher game. Doing a Monster Rancher game would be a lot of work, with a lot of heavy editing of training montages and the like, but I really love the games. The question is which one to do. Monster Rancher 1 is one I haven't really played because I don't own it, so it would be interesting in that regard, but I don't think you can generate monsters on an emulator with ISO files. Monster Rancher 2 has a ton of variety, and I think you can do disc swaps on an emulator with actual CDs. Monster Rancher 3 is also really fun, and has the advantage of the Monster Encyclopedia, which catalogs all the monsters you generate, lets you revive them on even different save files. It's also probably the easiest Monster Rancher game. Monster Rancher 4 is unique because it has a story and lets you raise multiple monsters at once, but I don't think there's an LP of it on YouTube either. Beyond those, there's also Monster Rancher Advance 1 and 2, but those would probably be pretty boring in comparison. 3. Final Fantasy 1. It works similar to Final Fantasy 5, except it would actually get somewhere, hopefully. I'd either be doing it with a party of red mages or a party voted on by viewers, possibly with names voted on by viewers as well. Unlike Final Fantasy V, I know more about what I'm getting into. There are also various other games that I have previously mentioned, such as Shining Soul 2, Super Mario Land 2, basically anything I did a Shagg try stuff of. Well, I think that about covers things for now. Hopefully that answers the most common questions and gives you an idea of what's to come. This has been Shagg.
Good luck.